Hi everyone, in this video let's learn about bonds, that is forces, types of bonds, the differences between these bonds, and then van der Waals force in detail. So let's see what are the two different types of bonds. First is intermolecular forces and the second is intramolecular forces. Now let's see the definition of intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces means they are the forces or bonds between the molecules. And then intramolecular forces, they are the forces or bonds within the molecules, that is inside the molecules. Now let's understand the difference between intermolecular and intramolecular forces. A bond, here is one water molecule, the second water molecule. Now the weak bond that exists between these two molecules is called intermolecular bond. Now let's see what are the different types of intermolecular bonds. Van der Waals force, dipole-dipole force, and hydrogen bonding. And the intramolecular types of bond, first one is ionic, second is covalent, and the last one is metallic bonding. Now let's study the intermolecular bond, that is van der Waals force, in detail. Now van der Waals force is an intermolecular bond, so it's a weak bond. So let's see what it is all about. We know that electrons in an atom or molecules are moving at a very high speed in its orbitals. When electrons move at a very high speed around the nucleus, it may happen that electrons may gather at one side of the atom just because they are revolving around the nucleus in its orbit. For just one moment, they may gather at one side of the nucleus. So what is going to happen is that this may give a partial dipole to the atom. So what is it going to happen is, due to the unequal distribution of charge, that is all the electrons, most of the electrons on one side and nucleus on the other side, gives it a temporary dipole. Now we need to understand that this dipole is just temporary, because the next moment these electrons are again going to move around in its own path, that is they are going to disperse, they are not going to stay back in this position. So such a partial charge or unequal distribution of charge is just a temporary. Now when such an atom is having a temporary dipole, and when a next atom comes nearer to it, that is going to induce a temporary dipole in this atom also. So what's going to happen is that this atom will also get a temporary dipole. So such temporary dipole to the neighboring atom is again a temporary for just one moment itself, and then these dipoles, that this negative partial charge of the atom and the partial charge, positive charge of another atom, is going to attract each other. So again a temporary bond is formed between such atoms, and this temporary attraction, force of attraction or a temporary bond, is called van der Waals force. And we can understand that this temporary bond, that is van der Waals force, which is very weak, is just due to the movement of the electrons, which is again only for a moment when these electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Now this is not at all a permanent, but as we know, it is all because of the electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. So we can also understand that more the number of these electrons, higher the stronger this dipole created, and so the force which is produced or the bond which is formed between such atoms is also going to be strong. So what we can say that this is not just the dipole or the force created between the atoms, it can be induced between the molecules also. The way it is done between the atoms can be done between the molecules also. And as we know that this is because of the electrons, so higher the number of electrons, stronger will be the van der Waals force. Now let's understand one more important part of the van der Waals force is that suppose we have such a long chain of a molecule with 4 carbon atoms. So as we know, this is a butane molecule with almost a straight chain. Now suppose we have an isomer of the butane. We know that what is the isomer of the butane, that is 2-methyl propane. When we have 2-methyl propane, the number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms are same. So we know that the electrons present in butane and electron present in this molecule, that is 3-methyl propane, are also going to be the same. Now as number of electrons are same, the force existing between the molecules of butane and the force between the molecules of 2-methyl, sorry, it's not 3, it's 2-methyl. 2-methyl propane should also be same, but it's not. Now when such molecules comes in contact of another such molecule, say a butane again, when we have such a molecule of butane with all the hydrogen and carbon in a straight chain, we know that these molecules, when comes closer to each other, may create a temporary van der Waals force between the atoms of all these molecules. Now as we can see here that the number of hydrogen which are in contact with each other or which are closer to each other will be much greater compared to the 2-methyl propane which is shown here, because the contact points will be less compared to what it was in butane here. So here only few hydrogen will be closer to each other, so the contact points are less, and so van der Waals force between the molecules of 2-methyl propane will be lesser compared to the van der Waals force which is present between the 2 molecules of butane. So we can say that longer the chain will have stronger force of attraction between its molecules, because the branch chains will have less contact points and the longer chains will have more contact points. Let's understand van der Waals force with the help of an example. Example 1 says, describe and explain the trend in the boiling point of noble gases. Now here we can see the noble gases in the group, that is from top to bottom, from helium, neon, argon and krypton. Now we know that the number of electrons increases down the group, and we can observe here that the boiling point also increases down the group. So the answer for this question is that the boiling point of noble gases increases down the group, because as the number of electrons increases down the group, van der Waals force also increases in these atoms, because this force directly depends on the number of electrons. And so it needs higher amount of energy to separate these atoms, and so in turn the boiling point of these noble gases increases down the group. Now let's see the next example. The next example says, describe and explain the trend in the physical states of group 7 elements. Now group 7 elements are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. Now as we know that fluorine and chlorine are gases at room temperature, bromine is liquid and iodine is solid at room temperature. So as it's written, describe the trend in the physical state of group 7. So we can say that down the group 7, the state changes from gas to liquid to solid. And the reason for this is that as the number of electron increases down the group, the van der Waals force between its molecules will also increase. Now we say molecules because fluorine, chlorine, bromine, all the elements of group 7 exist as diatomic molecules. So we say that the van der Waals force between its molecules increases down the group, and so because of that the melting and boiling point also increases, and that is the reason that the fluorine and chlorine, which are on the top of group 7, both these elements are gas. Then as van der Waals force increases, the bromine becomes liquid because its melting and boiling point increases, and iodine has even a stronger van der Waals force, so its melting and boiling point even increases higher, and so iodine and the elements below it are all solids. So in this video we have learnt about the differences in the intermolecular and intramolecular forces, and in intermolecular forces we learnt about van der Waals force in this video. In the next video we'll be covering about the intermolecular force, dipole-dipole force.